yummy.
Oh, his story.
I got a picture of you hugging me.
My friend.
You yell at me for doing that kind of stuff.